You found a home, but the realtor tells you you can't finance it to make the purchase. What does that even mean? In this video, we will tell you how you may be able to purchase the home and make necessary renovations and improvements to the home. So, Maggie is a local lender here in the Greenville area at Neighborhood Loans and is a great resource for all things mortgages. So, Maggie, what are some reasons that a house may not qualify for financing?
I'm glad you asked. At a minimum, the appraiser will look for pretty much the same things regardless of what type of loan that you're doing. It really comes down to the health and safety of the property. So, some of the things that they'll look for are evidence of termites, dampness, and abnormal settling in the foundation. They definitely check for mold. They want to look for roof leaks, any roof damage, inadequate electrical service or plumbing fixtures, and the faucets are tested to make sure that the water is running and any other environmental hazards. And this is actually to protect the buyer. We want to make sure that you're purchasing a property that is up to standard for health and safety and that the soundness is there and that you'll be safe in your home. So those are standard no matter what type of loan that you're using. If you're using an FHA or a VA loan, and stay tuned for another video where we'll talk about different types of loans, those are backed by the government and they have a few extra requirements. So they look at the drainage around your lot, make sure that it's moving away from the property. They'll also make sure that there are handrails on the steps and stairs, appropriate ventilation. They check for lead-based paint depending on when the property was built, and other things, chipping paint, evidence of termites again, of course. And all of these things are in addition to what I previously talked about. So really, at the end of the day, the appraiser's job is to make sure that the health and safety is there and that you are not overpaying for your property. This is also a really good time to mention the home inspection, which is something that Autumn is involved in, helps you find an inspector and get an inspection, which I would highly recommend. But they dig a little bit deeper than the appraiser will. So in my opinion, you can never be too careful when it comes to the safety of your home, and I would 100% recommend.
That was very useful information. Thank you so much. Could you talk a little bit about the loan program that would allow them to make necessary repairs so that maybe the house could be financed?
Yeah, absolutely. So if some of these things, one or two or three of these things that are on the list that the appraiser checks for as far as health and safety don't meet standard, it doesn't mean that you absolutely can't buy the house. What it means is that you may have to go with what's called a renovation loan. And there are a few different types of renovation loans when it comes down to the loan type that you have. So for FHA, you may have heard a term called a 203K. That is a renovation loan that's available with FHA financing. You may have also heard of Fannie Mae Homestyle. You may or may not. A lot of people don't know about that program. Some of the main differences are FHA 203K is going to be mainly your health and safety issues, permanently affixed changes to the property. With a home style, you have a little bit more freedom where it may not be a health and safety issue. Maybe your property is fine, but you want to add a room, you want to drop in a pool, you want to add a fence, whatever the case may be. Depending on what the change is, you may be able to finance that in.
Thank you so much for that. Now let's get everybody moving in the right direction with Autumn and Maggie.